Hey everyone, I'm Brian and this is Jesus Nation. Recently I was reading about Noah, the great man of God, the amazing, legendary Noah whom we all love. And as I was reading and meditating on Noah's story, I really felt the Lord impress into my heart through His Spirit that maybe I should do a little mini 3-part series. And I thought, yeah, God, that sounds amazing. And so I've titled this, The Path of Noah. And so I'm going to share a little bit now, just on part 1. And I'm going to start by telling you a little exercise I did one time. I actually got the lifespan of Adam, and I just ran a whole bunch of generations down and just overlapped and mapped out the lifespan of those who come under Adam. And what I discovered when I got to Noah, redacting that time frame back, I realized that Noah's grandfather, was alive while Adam was still alive. So I think it's the last 50 odd years of Adam's life, Noah's grandfather was alive. So I pondered on that and I thought, man, surely Noah's grandfather would have known Adam personally. It's coming down the family line, and you've got to assume and believe that back in those days, those traditions and family traditions would have been just amazing. So I just simply can't imagine the kind of stories that Adam would have been passing on about his knowledge of God and that season of creation and what happened there in the garden, and then the birth of mankind and the nations, and to clearly, as we get to Noah, we see the diminishing of the morals of mankind. And I think that Noah's grandfather would have had first-hand accounts from an eyewitness who would have seen everything. So of course those accounts would have been handed on to Noah's father, and then in turn on to Noah. So he's got this direct line to the first man, the alpha man, I guess, and that just amazed me. I was really just to spend a bit of time and just to meditate on that fact alone was just really good. So when I started to reread the story of Noah, so much more fell into place, because Genesis 6 declares that Noah walked with God. And so often here in the West, we hear stories like that, and we read stuff like that, and we assume, and I think sometimes falsely, that Noah may not have had any knowledge of God. It's like God all of a sudden appeared and then decided, oh, that's the guy, I'm going to go with him, and then starts to form and forge a relationship. But I don't believe that's true at all. I think Noah had an extremely good knowledge on who God was or is, and what God was about. So Noah was walking with God, Genesis 6 declares. What Genesis 6 also declares, of course that's the story of Noah, is that the thoughts of mankind were completely evil. The intent of the thoughts of the heart of mankind was always evil. And it also talked about that there was violence on the earth. So I think that sense of evil and that sense of violence was possibly even beyond that of man, into the natural world, the animal kingdom. This is speculation, of course. I'm kind of reading into the script a little bit here, reading between the lines, as it were. And so I'm sure that there was upheaval in the earth. Genesis 6, that there was violence in the earth. And it already spoke about the evil intent of the heart of mankind, the fact that Noah walked with God, and there was violence in the earth. So there could have been all sorts of geological issues and upheavals and maybe volcanoes and stuff. I don't know, that sort of stuff that kind of gets my imagination going a bit. But what is just amazing, that in the midst of the evil of mankind and the violence in the earth is this place in the middle where here's this Noah walking with God. So for me, I just start my path of Noah, my little journey, I guess. I'm on a little bit of a journey, and I want to spend just a little season in my own life walking that path of Noah. I think it's very important for Christians everywhere to be aware of the concept that Noah knew the times and the season that mankind was in. Something drove him on for all those years to build the ark that God asked him to build. He could see, he could feel, he knew it deep inside. Big stuff is going down. And I think it's, for Christians all around the world today, I think it's so important that we need to be absolutely aware of the times we're in, of the season we are in. I mean, for me, I'm convinced, there is no doubt in my heart that I believe that all the signs are here, and I believe that we are in the beginning of the season of our blessed Saviour's return. So for me, the imperative for me is that I want to do this little Noah walk, this little walk down the path of Noah. And the first few things that I'm taking from this Noah story, especially in Genesis, is the fact that we are surrounded by evil and that there is violence in the world. And we see the earth, we've seen incredible tsunamis and volcanoes and catastrophic earthquakes and all sorts of stuff happening a lot in recent years. We've seen the movement of whole people groups coming out of Africa and the Middle East, moving across into Europe, and we've seen the kind of chaos that is causing. We're seeing the kind of issues that are taking place between religious groups. We see the persecution of Christians and Jews on the rise right around the world, resulting in mass murder and torture of Christian groups. And so I see all this stuff, and I'm just so aware of that. We are in a changing time. We're in a particular season where big stuff is going to go down, just like Noah was in and Noah was aware of. So for me, my beginning of this journey is I want to walk with God. Just like Noah walked with God. I want to walk with God. I want to take a little bit of time out of my life, this little season, and just walk with God, just to hear from God, just to get revelation from Him, just to feel His presence, just walk that path of Noah. I'm on a little fast just right now. I just want to get into His Word. I'm doing some study. I've got some set aside prayer time, and I'm excited about it. And I think you should be excited about it too. And so come with me on this journey, remembering that the first part of this journey is that Noah walked with God. He was aware of the times and the season that he was in, and he walked with God. So you walk with God, and I'll catch you at part 2. I'm Brian, and this is Jesus Nation. See ya. In the name of God.